guys, Melissa Kinsey here. So before we go any further in this series on how to write an online obituary, let's just get a few things straight about what exactly is different about an online obituary. Everything has changed. The web has totally changed the possibilities that we now have about writing an obituary. And the old rules about deadlines, length, and content are all gone. So let's just take those one by one. Start with deadlines. You don't have a deadline anymore. That's the great thing. Tell your mortuary director, funeral director, to put a notice in the paper. He or she probably would anyway, just listing when the services are, and then sit back, cry, watch Netflix, eat peanut butter, whatever you want to do for as long as you want to do it until you feel ready to write the obituary. And then when you're ready, sit down and start writing, or do it a little bit at a time. You don't have to get it posted immediately. So you can post it a month after the funeral or service. You can post it a year after the service. It's totally up to you. And I imagine a lot of you watching are actually writing your own obituaries, in which case, of course, you have to get it done before you die. But that would be the only limitation on your time frame. So, and then the other thing is length. We're not writing for 2-column inches anymore, and it doesn't cost $200 extra if we add 20 words to our obituary. So write as much as you want. The only limitation on how long an obituary can be is how long can you maintain your reader's interest. So if you can maintain your audience's interest for 2,000 words, then write 2,000 words. My guess is that it's going to be probably more like 800 to 1,200 words, but that's a determination that you can make as you write and as we go along, and we'll talk more about that in future videos. And then the last thing is the content. The content has changed entirely. Partly that's because our society has changed. We're not as religious as we used to be. Most of us don't want the Bible verses and the harps and angels. If that's something that's important to you and it's part of your story, I respect that, and please, by all means, put that in. But if it's not part of your story, you're no longer obligated to have that in there. And then the other thing is, everything these days is curated and customized, and that goes for obituaries too. So pull a couple of stories that illustrate what that person meant to you and use those to illustrate who the obituary was, not just what he or she meant to you, but also who the person was in general, who he was to other people, who he was at work, who he was as a volunteer or a mentor, or whatever it was that he did in his life that he was proud of and that you're proud of. Those are the things that should be in the obituary. It's not a LinkedIn profile. It's not a church bulletin. It's whatever you want it to be, and it's personal. We'll get more into that in this series of videos. I hope you'll watch, and I hope it helps you. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them personally, and thanks for being here. Hey guys, for a lot more ideas and advice, please check out my book on Amazon.com. It's called How to Write an Online Obituary, and it's available in print or for whatever device you use. Hey, thanks for listening.